Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everybody. Uh, Today I will talk about one of the careers that emerging in the past 1 decade, and it is not it's not making fuss like other different careers, like a data science, for example, especially when we have all the expansion of the explosion of the data and the term of big data, data science, and also with the Industrial Revolution 4.0. With the big data and Industrial Revolution 4.0, a lot of career path and jobs were service, and some of them have been highlighted and also well known in the market, but also there are a lot of others that still not well known and does not have that spotlight on them. So today I will try my best to introduce to you what is data engineering is, and how we are in PDO actually having jobs, having positions for a data engineer, and in which team is it. First of all, maybe I'd like to talk about a little bit about my experience. This maybe will give you a little bit of how a path to go to the data engineering career is. For me, I hold 9+ year overall experience in software engineering and data management and data engineer. First of all, I worked as a computer programmer in numerical weather prediction section at Civil Aviation Authority. Currently, I'm a data engineer in data science team at PDO. I hold experience on those discipline or this fields: work automation, data pipelines, data wrangling, data analysis, distributed systems, data architecture, and data assessment. Well, let's talk first about the data revolution milestones. I will not go through how the data was evolving through all the years. I'm just picking up some milestones to understand how data engineering career get out of all of this journey. In 1970s and 80s, we all know that dealing with data was basically through relational databases, and everyone maybe heard about SQLs. So at that point of time, it's all about SQLs and relational databases, separate sheet like Excel. So the amount of the data was exist at that time, it was not that huge. So those systems, those technology were sufficient at that time. Through the years, in 1990s, the internet was invented, and hence the data became more available. We produce more data, and with the increase of the data, we have our normal traditional systems and relation databases and Excel sheets or spreadsheets start to become a challenge to handle the increase of the data production. So, and also we have to keep in mind also that more applications were emerging when the internet was there through the years until 2000. For example, from 1990 until 2011, we had many companies emerging. They developed many applications, many websites that produce many data format, data volume, large data volume, high speed. One example of those companies are Facebook, Netflix, Google, Apple. All these large companies, they produce huge data through their applications. So with the same time, at that period, we have the AR4 and big data concept emerging. We have different smart projects, different different fields in the digital area. So that led with the huge and rapid increase in data technology and also data tools. Those big companies, actually the one who start to invent this career path or this job as a data engineer. So for example, if we see at the beginning with the relation databases, we can see that the jobs at that time, maybe database administrator or database developers. We're going to the internet era, software engineers were the hot career path or hot jobs. And when we come to big data and IR 4.0, those roles, those jobs, they actually, if we see on them, they already were handling data. They were already doing some of the, they are doing some of the jobs, some of the roles, some of the responsibility that currently a data engineer is doing. So basically what the Facebook, Netflix, Google, or this all huge company, they lifted the heavy lifting from that, for example, database developer and the software engineers, because the increase of big data, the increase of the data technology, it was very overwhelming for some of the career, for some of the jobs in the market to handle the data itself. So let's define data engineering. Data engineering is defined as the process to move data, raw data, from a place to another. So from point A to point B, and usually it's called data pipeline. So the data engineering is actually design and implement data pipelines. The implementation includes data ingestion, data processing, data cleaning, data transformation, and of course, workflow automation. Automation is very crucial. Maybe we can use some real world example. They usually call data engineer plumbers. So let's say we have in our house the water tank in the roof, how the plumber is going to take that water from one point to another, for example, from the water tank, and they establish the pipeline until, for example, washing machine, or until a sink in a kitchen. So that engineer is doing the same thing, is trying to moving the data from, for example, a source or a destination. A source can be anything like a data warehouse, data lake, an application itself, from one application to another. This destination can be data warehouse, can be a monitoring tool, can be a machine learning model. So the idea is to define, to implement and design that pipeline. And of course, in that pipeline, it can be some filtration done, some data cleaning, some data transformation. We always can get data from the source, but the data, as mentioned before in the previous sessions, can be in different format. And the destination, usually they need a specific format. So the data transformation need to be done to meet the requirement at the end. Of course, with the huge rise of technologies in dealing with data, we have many technologies that needs to be a data engineer be aware of. Many concepts, for example, in data ingestion, you need to, there is a lot of sources. If you talk about the real world, you have tweeters, you have some special data warehouse technology, you have special data lakes. All of them need sort of connectors to connect to. It's not like just you have to connect immediately. So you have to use some sort of connector, and all of that need to be understood and known. In terms of data processing, the legacy data processing is the batch processing. So you have data sitting somewhere, and you have the option to process it anytime you want. Currently, the new hot topic is data streaming or data in real time. That is alone is a new field and have a lot of technologies, a lot of ideas, a lot of concept behind it. So it is crucial in some application that you process the data in the fly. So you don't have time. It just sometimes matter of seconds. Of course, workflow automation, all of these, if you put it in a production system, need to be automated. So it's crucial for data engineer to have this background, to automate, to orchestrate all the workflows, especially, for example, if we have a project, the data pipeline is not it's not only one data pipeline. It can be multiple data pipeline from one component to another. So if you have like 5 components in a system, usually we will have like minimum 4 data pipelines. Becoming a data engineer, how easy it is to become a data engineer? Actually, it's not that easy, because you have to be holding skills in software engineer, database development skills, and hands-on experience in dealing with big data. And let's not to forget that keeping up with the new concept emerging and new technologies in data processing areas. One of the things I noticed currently, if you, for example, want to pursue this career, it's not in the universities. For example, not like data science. Some universities already are introducing data science in their curriculum, but data engineer is still not yet. And if you want to go online and pursue this career, you will find really a small number of career paths that you can follow online. So you have first, if you want to become a data engineer, you have to list all the skills that are required, and you have to follow that each individual skills separately, so you can achieve at the end at least becoming a fresh data engineer. So in PDO, with all digital transformation projects we have currently in PDO. So with digital transformation, it will come with it a high number of projects, complex projects. Of course, we have big data. So we need all that position or job titles to handle all AI projects. And of course, we're talking about projects that will go to production. So it will be complex projects, huge projects, and they have different area to cover. So in PDO, we having now a data science team is dedicated to handling all the projects that require AI and data science. As my colleague Suad mentioned, we already having data, we will have data lakes and also having already warehouses. All the data management is required, will be implemented. Then data science team will come and utilizing those data. So data science team, includes data scientists, which everyone I think already heard about. we have software engineers, the traditional software engineers, but now because the projects are complex, because the technology are getting more technology nowadays regarding the data itself, regarding the science behind it. So we have data engineers, we need infrastructure, that's why we have digital architecture. There is machine learning engineer also, because we try here to separate each role and give its all the effort. So we want the data engineer to concentrate in data engineering. We want the data science to concentrate on data science. Software engineer will do his part. Digital architect will provide for him the infrastructure. Machine learning engineer comes into the picture. I don't know if anybody heard about it. This is one of also now the emerging field in data science. So machine learning engineer will be responsible to put all the pieces together and deploy the product. Thank you very much. And I hope you learned something new today about data engineer.